when you're excited about things, people will automatically give you opportunities. People will see that you have this tremendous burst of energy surrounding the thing that you do, and every door will open. If you are not doing it, you will get sucked into a hole. And if you do it, you have a chance of actually getting a life that you want. I want to have $1 million because I want to be free to do whatever I want. Then maybe you should focus on not getting that money out of fear that you won't be safe, and maybe focus on how can you cultivate that feeling of freedom already in yourself right now. Because if you feel free, you will get the opportunities that will make you free in the external environment.
A lot of men just force themselves on you in a way, and I didn't really have very strong boundaries yet, and I let them cross them. That also made me feel unsafe. It was more excited to stay in the shadows.
There is something in this cycle that keeps you there. If you already feel the world is like dangerous, and then you're not gonna do something. I need to focus more on just showing up than actually complete the tasks, and not getting into the emotional state of someone who is chasing an impossible goal. You will become a person who is always chasing an impossible goal. Crazy fucking shit what this can do for you. So welcome to the 4th podcast of Love Liberation. Today we're going to talk about excitement, following your passion, everything that surrounds that. We're going to explore the mental concepts of whatever is associated with that subject. And my name is Max.
And I'm Felicia.
And welcome to the podcast. To give some context, there are 2 people here. I have always followed my excitement and like frantically researching all different topics already from when I was a child. And you have struggled a little more with finding your true passion. And I think it's very interesting to have these 2 perspectives of people who have different relationships towards excitement, to really dig deep and talk about how you actually found your excitement and your passion. It recently clicked for you. Can you talk a little bit about that? What happened, and give us a little background?
Yeah, of course. The past year, I've been really trying to follow my highest excitement, and even though I did that, I still felt a lot of distrust in my excitement and whether that was actually the right thing to do and if everything will actually work out. But we both decided to really step into it anyways, and that got us to go to a beautiful festival in Greece, and that just accelerated our journey of following our highest excitement, and we were vibrating so high, and that's when we decided to just draw a card and go travel for 5 months to South America and Central America. I had a moment in Guatemala where we went to a festival which was also based off our excitement. We went back to the hostel of a friend of ours, and I took a moment to just sit with myself. And in that moment, I started thinking about the past year, because it was almost New Year's, and that's just a time where you start reflecting. And I looked back and I noticed everything I had done this year and how I was just living a dream life of mine, and how everything was divinely timed, because I was now going through a journey where I actually started to realize what I do want to do with my life and my career and making money. And it's something that for the first time I actually feel really excited about and really passionate about. And in the past year, I felt the need to actually build a business, because I didn't have to work, because you were providing for me, which gave me the opportunity to actually rest, but also build a business. And in my mind, I knew that I wanted to have my own business. So I tried to force it to happen in that year around breathwork, even though I knew that breathwork wasn't something that the thing that I wanted to do. I knew that it was part of what I wanted to do, but not the thing. And even though I knew that, I still felt this internal pressure that I needed to create that business, because now was the opportunity. As I was sitting there in Guatemala reflecting back, I realized that I didn't need to build a business this year. what I was most excited about was resting and actually getting back to myself and getting in touch with my excitement again. That's what actually excited me, not building my business. This was all mental. And as soon as that clicked, I just realized that everything works out exactly as it should work out, as long as you follow your highest excitement. Because if I would have followed my highest excitement in the past year and I would have just enjoyed resting and not felt that internal pressure to make something happen, I would have enjoyed it so much more. Now I'm just looking back and thinking, wow, this was the best year of my life. But during the process of this year, I didn't connect with that often enough. Because I constantly thought that I needed to be somewhere else. And this also showed me that my highest excitement actually tells me when something is ripe, when something is ready to be manifested. Because surrounding my business, I knew I wanted it, yet I didn't feel the excitement to actually work on it. And that showed me that in that moment, my excitement wasn't ready yet. My business wasn't ready yet to be manifested into this present day reality. Now I'm at a point where I actually feel excited to build this business and I have a vision of what I want. And now I notice that everything is just kind of happening and I'm taking the steps that are needed because it actually excites me to take those steps. Suddenly people come to me and go on my path that are perfectly aligned with everything that I'm trying to do and build, and just the right people and the right tools are coming to me because now it's ready to be manifested because I'm actually excited about it. So that's something that recently really shifted for me.
So you talked about distrust. What does that actually mean? Like why didn't you trust your own gut feeling about what you wanted to do?
I was just always so out of touch with my excitement. I just didn't really have a lot of things I felt excited about, that it became something kind of unknown, and the unknown can be very scary. So I think that's one reason, because it's just unknown to me, and because of certain beliefs that it can be that easy, it can be that amazing that you just have to follow your highest excitement. That's all you gotta do. It sounds way too simple and way too easy to the point that it's kind of suspicious.
Like a hack.
Yeah.
Right? It feels too easy. Like
Yeah.
when you are in a dead end job and you are like struggling to even make enough money to sustain yourself, like excitement is the last thing on your mind, right? Like, oh yeah, I should paint and then everything will be all right. Yeah. It doesn't, like, the culture in the Western world is like so geared towards safety and like a safe job, good money, just protect yourself in that sense. And it also demands that you make money from a certain age. And when you didn't know it yet, what you wanted to do, it feels like a big step to actually take the risk. So what helped you to actually get in touch with it again? Because if your whole mind and culture and belief system is against that, how do you even start to unpack that?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's been a journey of really getting to know myself and going inward, and also following people like Bashar. He really gave great perspectives and insights that felt like truth to me, even though that I couldn't really connect with it yet in the way that I do now, but it felt like truth. And just trying things out, that was a big thing for me, or that's something that I'm doing right now, now that I've built a little bit more tools around excitement.
Tools?
Yeah, they're now that I feel connected with my excitement again, and I know that this is the way to go to create your dream life, I'm trying to create all these tools to make sure that I can stay connected to it. And one of those things is to just, for the fun of it, try something. Don't take it too seriously. Not try to do it for this is to connect me with my excitement, or this is, just don't try to grab onto it, but just for the fun of it. Why not just try it out? If you do it in that way, I think you have a little bit more lightness, and excitement feels light. So you're already a little bit more in that vibration. And that's how you're actually going to find what fits and what doesn't. And another thing that I'm trying to do is just, at moments I feel a little bit disconnected from my excitement, is just write down anything and everything I can think about that makes me excited. Whether that's a cookie or traveling or making music or feeling the sun on my face or whatever it may be, anything and everything I get excited about, just write it down. Because when you do that, you actually start getting in the vibration of excitement. And even though it can be just a little bit because you're still feeling really out of touch with it, if you do that often enough, you can start to actually recognize the vibration and the texture of it. And through that, you can actually start recognizing when you are excited about something in your day-to-day, because you're more familiar with the frequency of excitement, how it feels in your body.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Okay.
So first we talked about when you're in this stuck dead-end job and you are influenced and programmed by the culture of today's society, you have all these different belief systems. And what you talked about, like following people who think differently online, this will give a different kind of input than the people around you in this society, right? If you watch people who with full conviction say that this is the way, and you resonate with that, and you start trusting them because everything they say around it, you feel like there's some truth to it. And eventually you start to trust that, and then you have these opposing beliefs in your head, and then you're like, okay, but why don't I think this is the case? Why don't I think this is not the way? And you start to have this conflict inside yourself, and then you start to unpack that, okay, who actually put this in my brain, right? Did this come from my own experience, or is this people around me, or and you start doubting everything. So that's one way of actually changing your belief system. And then you said get more familiar with the feeling inside. When you talk about frequency, it's often an emotional state, right? How does it actually feel when I'm excited about something? And you talked about starting small, starting in the moment, like what would excite me now, and write things down that can identify the feeling of excitement. So what are some things or feelings that you wrote down?
Well, it differs every time, but a couple of big things that keep coming back for me is having a lot of money. That excites me. Being self-sustainable excites me. Having my own apartment excites me. Making true soul connections and deep connections with people. And it can differ every time. It can sometimes be really small, that I'm craving an apple and I get excited about eating an apple.
Yeah, so you write these things down, and then you notice how you feel about it. And then when you get more familiar with that feeling, you will know in each and every moment, or whenever you have a decision, okay, what choice or and what way or what direction is making me feel most like the things that I wrote down that I get excited about. What is the direction for me to chase that excitement?
Yeah. And I think also self-worth and self-love comes in play at this point. That's something I faced yesterday, where even if you have something you are excited about, you can still feel this internal friction to actually start doing it. But if you really just take a moment to ask yourself why. Because, for example, yesterday I started to write down everything I was excited about. And one of those things was meditation. And I started to set intentions for the next day. And I said, okay, I want to feel excited because I want to connect with it more. I want to feel loved. I want to feel grateful. And then something just kind of went wrong in my brain and said, like, grateful. I don't know if I want to feel grateful. And that's where my awareness kind of shut in and said, like, wait, hold up. You don't want to feel grateful. Let's explore this, because why wouldn't you want to feel grateful? If you feel grateful, you feel happy, you feel just in, oh my God, yeah, crying and just in joy and in awe of the world of life. And
Why the fuck wouldn't I want that?
yeah, why wouldn't I want to feel that way? And it can happen that you don't want to feel that way because you think you don't deserve it, or because you feel guilty about it. That's something that happens for me, where somewhere along the line I've made the belief that me being happy can influence other people in a bad way. So that's the reason why I wouldn't want to explore that. But even just saying that out loud or writing that down, I can already feel like this doesn't make any sense. Why? What? Like, it helps to see other people enjoy. If you see someone just having fun and dancing on the street to their own music, it's amazing to see, and you feel joy just by watching them. Like, it's infectious. So it's not a bad thing. And
This is the conflict I talked about, right? You feel like you want to follow your excitement, and for some reason you don't, and then what?
yeah,
And that's that conflict. That's the trigger that like, okay, so something is like opposing right now.
yeah, something is holding you back, and it can be because you're not actually in connection with your excitement. Because if you are in connection, then you would realize that feeling grateful is amazing. So why wouldn't you want to do it? And then in that moment, you can shift it. But there can also be a deeper layer where you feel like you don't deserve it, or that you're not good enough for it, or
It's dangerous.
that it's dangerous, that you're going to hurt other people through it. There can be also a deeper layer on why you wouldn't follow your highest excitement, or wouldn't allow yourself to feel excited and enjoy and in gratitude and in love and all the happy, joyful feelings. Yeah, if you don't allow yourself to do that, then or feel that, there can be a deeper layer. So I think it can also be important in the moment to really take a moment to sit with why you wouldn't want to do the thing that excites you, or the thing that you know is going to make you feel amazing.
I think a lot of people, when they are sitting down and feeling like, okay, what would excite me? And then they think about their dream. I think about, what have I always dreamed of? And
If people can even reach that, because I couldn't either for a long time.
yeah, that's the difference between us then. And I think for a lot of people, it also, like, it comes back to that belief system. Like, do you actually believe that it's possible, right?
Yeah.
And that's also a thing you need to work through. Like, okay, I love myself, I want this for me. And then, okay, I have a dream. And then, that's not realistic. And all these different belief systems from the world, like, you want to be a singer. You know how little people actually make it.
Yeah. And I think that's a really, really important one, to reconnect with your excitement. Because your own limiting beliefs on what is possible, it's going to kill it off. Allow yourself to just, for the fun of it, just explore anything and everything that makes you excited. If that is being the number one singer or actor in the world, and just, if that's something, just an idea, a vision that makes you feel excited, just explore it, just for the fun of it.
How would your life look like?
Yeah, don't try to think of how it would happen, or whether it's even possible, whether it's realistic. Don't, just keep that out of the door. Keep that out of your mind. and let that go, because that's going to kill off your excitement. Because the second you think, well, that's never going to happen, then suddenly all your excitement is gone.
And it doesn't have to be a conscious thought. I also was in a period in my life where if I dreamed the big dream and then I felt disappointed. That's it, it can also be just a feeling, like
Yeah.
dreaming the big dream. That is, it's not really a thought then in your brain. It's just like, I'll never make that. But that's just a feeling that you just get disappointed by your dreams. If you get disappointed by your dreams, it's a surefire sign that you have some belief system that doesn't allow for whatever you're dreaming of.
Yeah. There's some reason why you're not allowing it to happen. Another thing that shifted for me is the knowing that the things that you are excited about, the things that you want and your heart so deeply desires, are exactly the things that are meant for you, that are already given to you, because time isn't linear. Time, it's already happened. Everything has already happened. And the reality where you get exactly what you want, exactly what your heart so deeply desires, is already yours. The only thing holding you back from that is yourself. Because the universe loves you so much. Way more than you can ever imagine. Everything is already given to you. Everything you want. But there's might be some belief system within you that tells you to not receive it. Because of some reason, it's serving you right now to not have the things that you want.
There's something you need to learn.
Yeah. There's a reason that's even more loving right now to not let you have it than to give it to you right now. And if you try to look at that, knowing that it's already yours, but that there's some reason why that's still useful for you to not receive it right now.
I saw this video online, and there was a woman who said, I've been stuck in these cycles forever. Like, I want to get out, but it just seems like I can't get out of this fucking cycle of trying things and then failing, and then trying things and then failing. Maybe it's you want to start a morning routine, or you want to meditate, and you got it for 3 days, and then you fail, and then you have a week of everything is fucked, and I don't know. You have these cycles. And what I've learned, like, I've been in this fear cycle of trying to force myself with fear to do something. And right now my shift is to actually do and motivate myself to action out of love. But that's something we go in later. But this guy, he said something in this cycle. There is something you get from it. There is something that you are not letting go of, whether it's being comfortable, or whether it's the fear of actually taking risk, or there is something in this cycle that keeps you there. And it's something that you want over what it is what you get when you get out of the cycle. And this really clicked something for me.
You always get what you want. Whether you know you want it or not, but you always get what you want. And you just need to figure out what it is that you subconsciously want to actually move past that.
Or what you think you want. Because what you actually want, that's like your excitement, right? Your deepest desire. You can also have a belief system that you think you want to be comfortable, that you think you want to stay in this cycle because you get validation from others. Yeah, it's hard, right? Oh, yeah. And people love that. People join together in misery.
Yeah,
they bond over it.
A big thing that a lot of people struggle with, including myself, is the fear of being fully seen. Like, I want to build a thriving business, and I know that I want to be seen by a lot of people. Yet at the same time, I fear it. And because of that, it's holding me back from actually receiving the thriving business that I want. Because I first need to be okay with of people actually seeing me and inviting people into my energy, into my world, into my experience. Because if I don't, then how am I ever going to be in the spotlight with a thriving business? So right now, a part of me is, or has been, more excited to stay in the shadows and not have to face all the judgments and everything that comes from being in the spotlight. It was more excited to stay in the shadows. I didn't know that. I thought I wanted to already show myself, but it's only been recently where I've actually truly shifted it, and where I actually just really enjoy being seen, enjoy being looked at. And now that's something that excites me, which means that now it's actually going to manifest because I'm actually opening myself up to receive being seen. So now I'm at a point where I actually enjoy being seen, which means that I open myself up to be seen, even in my just day to day, which means that I'm actually attracting people into my energy that need to be there, that are of service for the thing that I want to create. That all happens when you are actually excited about being seen instead of being fearful for being seen.
What made being seen feel dangerous to you?
Rejection, judgments. I felt unsafe in the world. And that's something that also during the travel experience has started to shift. Because I feel unsafe or felt unsafe in the world, I've also been scared to be vulnerable with people and allow people into the most vulnerable and sacred and dark parts of myself and just everything of myself, because I thought they would just mistreat it. And during the travel experience, with a very simple practice, by the way, highly recommend, just by saying hi to people. When you walk past them, just say hi, look for eye contact, and really connect with them for just a second. And every time I did that, people just lit up, and I just saw love coming from them. And hi! And by doing that time after time and getting love reflected back at me time after time, I started to feel and realize that it was safe and that most people just carry love with them. And through that, I actually started to be okay with being seen.
What is an experience that really ingrained in your younger self the danger of being seen? What is the first experience that pops up?
Yeah. The first thing that pops up is during high school when we had a play, and I just really went for it. And it felt kind of vulnerable to me because I was actually putting my emotion in it and I tried my best. And I walked on the stage full confidence and fully in my role. And after that, and the lights were on me, and I was trying to look for my parents as a child does. And afterwards, we got off the stage, and a friend back then said to me in a very judgy way, like, well, you really tried there. And it just, the way she said it really hit very deeply. And in that moment, I thought that it was wrong for me to give it my all and to be vulnerable in that way, to show parts of me that I haven't shown to other people before. And also, afterwards, my parents came back and I said, like, yeah, I tried to look for you. Yeah, we saw. And just those little, because I've always been very, very sensitive for these kind of things. And just those little things people said and the tone of it, the way they said it, just really hit home to me and made me feel unsafe and shameful and embarrassed for even really trying and putting myself vulnerable on that stage.
You were showing your light, and
Yeah.
people, that friend, subconsciously tried to dim it because she was probably threatened by
Yeah.
your light.
Yeah, and she would judge it within herself. There was probably an earlier experience with her where she was the one that got judged. And now she does it for herself and she judged me.
And she was probably judged by someone in her environment who was also judged.
Exactly.
And then it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
This is culture in practice.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of other experiences has, like, as a developing young woman, like girl to woman, and I started to go out and just explore the nightlife, kind of. A lot of people, like a lot of men, just force themselves on you in a way. And I didn't really have very strong boundaries yet, and I let them cross them. And that also made me feel unsafe and made me just want to hide away in the shadow, because I don't want people to just grab my ass, and I don't know, like, so these kind of things also made me to kind of want to stay in the shadow, because I couldn't trust other people not to cross my boundaries, and I couldn't trust myself to actually hold my own boundaries. And also being sexualized at a young age by just older, like 16-year-old boys still. But I was like 6 or 7, and that they were started to sexualize me for walking with my hips and stuff, and just older men trying to come really, really close to me. And all these things made me just really fearful for the world, and made me just want to step in the shadow, not be seen, not be perceived in a way, and dim my own light, because it was scared to the things I attracted didn't feel safe to me.
And now when you were traveling in Guatemala, before you go, you read all these dangerous things about Guatemala, and then you actually are in Guatemala and you see that everybody is so full of love. And this is like culture and experience clashing.
Mm-hmm.
And this changes your way you look at the world. This is so beautiful to me.
Yeah, it was really beautiful, and especially because the safety part of my journey happened at the place where, in the Airbnb reviews, people said like that the neighborhood was dangerous and that they didn't feel safe, and there were like 2 or 3 comments, and we still decided to go there, and we said if it really doesn't feel safe, we can always leave. And the people there were so nice. There was just only love, and they tried to connect with you and just help you, and they were so nice. And the fact that it was specifically at that place where people said that the neighborhood was not very nice, and that I found that I felt so safe, and that I actually learned to feel safe in the world overall, and be seen and be looked at, actually be something that feels good to me, and actually stepping in my Leo in that way. It's beautiful that happened at a place that people said that it felt unsafe. It only shows their perspective and how they feel in the world, because my experience has been the exact opposite.
Yeah, so you have all these perspectives clashing. Like, when you read about these countries and people say, oh, it's risky and you will get robbed and whatever. This is like, just because negative articles and negative news in the world is amplified, because prehistorically we are wired for perceiving danger. And I believe that somewhere in the last 100 years, they noticed that the engagement went up when you talk about negative stuff, and you see it on the news. They all highlight these crazy things that happened in order to just glue your eyes to the screen. But this is not reality. This is not reality. Crime rates, homicides,
Well,
everything is down.
yeah, but like what you say is true, and it also does happen. Like the statistics don't come from anywhere. But like even in Guatemala, there were a couple of instances where I heard people talk about how they got threatened with a knife, or how they almost got robbed or something like that. I, on the other hand, have like no experience with it. Didn't even come close to it. Didn't feel in danger. Nothing. And I think it also has to do with the energy you carry with you, the frequency you embody, because if you already go in it with love and trying to find connection with someone, then that's what you're going to get back. People who don't feel threatened or want to hurt someone most of the times, that's just confident and wants to share a connection and wants to share love. It's not the frequency you're going to attract to you.
If I'm like in the practical sense, if I'm a criminal and I want to rob somebody, who would I rob? Would I rob like a couple who is like truly confident and walking with their chest up and happy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or would I rob someone who is crouched and looking around like they are scared? Maybe they have to hide something, or you know, that's the frequency, that's the emotional state that you carry.
Yeah. And people get wary from someone who's wary.
Yeah.
Like if you get someone who's walking around like this, then you're also going to look at them and think, what's going on? You know, and you're also already taking a step back instead of coming closer to each other. You're already creating separation through that. So that makes it even easier for someone to rob you, because there's already a greater separation than the person they just said hi to with a smile on their face. It's easier to rob someone you don't have that connection with.
Definitely. At the end, we're all love, right? We are incarnated, and some people feel the need to rob others in order to survive. But if you see the love in someone, it gets a whole lot harder. Because you are loved too. Yeah. And you are robbing yourself in that sense.
Yeah. And even if you don't know that mentally, you feel it. That's what we call the conscience. It's people feel it. But to come back, how safety correlates to your highest excitement.
If you don't feel safe in the world, you won't feel safe to explore your dreams. You won't feel safe to actually take risks. Taking risks is tolerating stress and fear. It's courage is doing something in spite of fear. People who are courageous aren't fearless. They feel it just as much as you. They just have more space and more belief in that it's actually possible. And often they also have a more accurate perception of the world. If you fail in that business, you extrapolate it to death almost instantly. Like, oh, I will fail my business. Nobody will hire me again because I have a hole in my resume. Then I will become depressed and my life is fucked and eventually I'll kill myself. That's a fucking extrapolation of every risk to death. That's what we do to protect ourselves. And if you already feel the world is like dangerous, and then you're not gonna do something. If you have an accurate perception of the world, you will know that you will just find a job afterwards. This is just your belief system. And
yeah, it always comes down to it, what you believe. That's like how great you think your life is right now, all has to do with your beliefs. And feeling unsafe in the world, the belief that you are not safe, that is one that can hold you back immensely from the things that you want. Because, for example, you want a business, or you want a boat, or you want whatever. You're not gonna be open for the opportunities that are right in front of you and the people that you might meet, because you don't feel safe in the world. So you're not trying to connect with other people. You're not trying to see the opportunities, because what if it's a threat? What if it's something that's gonna bite you in the ass when you're done with it? You know, like, it can be one of the beliefs that's holding you back. And I think it's important to, first of all, just let yourself, for the fun of it, explore anything and everything that makes you excited. And then anything and everything that holds you back. All the reasons why not receiving that is serving you right now. even though you really want it and you know you want it and you get excited about it, but it's still not here, then something is holding you back. Something within yourself.
It's probably fear. Fear through others, fear from your own mind, fear from your personal experience.
Fear to be disappointed. Fear to lose your home.
Nothing ever works out for me. This is what I've experienced. So
Yeah.
why would it be different now?
Yeah. And those are the beliefs. But also look at why those beliefs are serving you right now. Because that's where the real treasure is. When you look at that and you come up with a reason that just doesn't feel aligned anymore, and you just clearly see like this isn't serving me, then you can let it go. And you can prefer the thing that you can choose, the one you prefer, the way you want to go. And if it is something, once you've made clear for yourself or gotten clear how it's still serving you, and you look at it and you think, actually, there's a good point in this. I actually do want to explore this. And you get excited about exploring that, then follow that.
This is a very good one because, like, so many people post on Instagram and people see the most beautiful tropical locations and they think they want that. And then maybe they tell themselves that they want that, but actually deeply, they really like their life. And they have the feeling that they need to be somewhere else because they are enjoying so much. And people talk about how this is the dream life. But maybe you actually really do like your job and your apartment and these nice and cozy evenings with your loved one and your children. And like,
yeah, and for to take back the example that we had earlier with my business last year, if I would have sat down and I would have just wrote down all the limiting beliefs that come up with it, and I would have asked myself, how is this serving me right now? How is it serving me that I don't have any clients right now? I would have come with the reason that it's serving me because now I can rest. Now I can just do whatever I want to do. I have no commitments, no responsibilities in that sense, so enjoy life. And if I would have known that, I probably would have chosen that. I probably would have felt more excitement with the idea that I just didn't have any responsibilities right now and I could just enjoy life right now. Then I would have consciously chosen it and would have been able to enjoy it way more than I did right now, because now it was a subconscious choice and my conscious mind was still trying to be somewhere else. So to make that clear, you can actually, like, if it was to rest, that's how it's serving me, but I feel like I'm done resting, I'm over it, I want to do something, then I would have been able to make the conscious choice to take the steps that are needed for my business.
I saw that in you. You were stuck in these dead-end jobs for years. And I saw that you were just exhausted. You didn't know what you wanted to do. It was just... It was just time for you to rest. And that's why I told you, please stop this madness and get back to yourself and actually take a fucking break.
Yeah, and I kind of received that, but not fully. I rested, but at the same time, I still felt this internal pressure to actually grab this opportunity to build my business now that I'm not working. But it just wasn't ripe yet.
And to get back to like how your excitement is your compass, I feel like a true hack to life is to be connected as soon as possible with your excitement, Because when you're excited about things, people will automatically give you opportunities. People will see that you have this tremendous burst of energy surrounding the thing that you do, and every door will open. It's just like, also, it's that practical. People see you are fired up. And what is more infectious and attracting than someone who is fired up about what they do? This is the key.
Yeah, it's in all ways just using your excitement as your guide is just it's the key. It's the answer. So like if you are excited about like if you follow your highest excitement in every moment, it's not just building that business or going traveling or buying that car or house. It's also what you're going to eat, whether it's an orange or an apple. Which one makes you more excited? Choose the one that makes you more excited. And maybe in that very moment, your body needed the orange and you got most excited about it because there's a lot of vitamin C in it that gave you the energy and the vitamin C to make sure you didn't get sick for that important thing you want. Like it's in those very little choices. Always choose your highest excitement. And through that, you will also get clues into your future. The unknown isn't that unknown anymore. It's not something to be fearful about because if you are really aware and you follow your highest excitement in every moment, then you can already start your future, see your future starting to take shape in this present day. For example, in Guatemala, I got excited about buying ceremonial cacao and buying certain stuff for healing practices and stuff. And now I'm actually building a business to hold space for people with going through transformative experiences. So I'm probably going to need the cacao. I'm probably going to need the cleansing things that I bought. And those were just things I was excited about in that moment that were already telling me what my future is going to look like. So following your highest excitement also makes sure that the thing that you are creating is something that you're excited about because you're already doing it every time, every day. You're already living the the life that excites you, which I think is a life you would want to have, that you would prefer.
You can see the thing that you're excited about in the moment as a step towards a future that is meant for you. You were excited about all these ceremonial things, and turns out that in the future you will need them. Oh, it's nice that I have these already because this is exactly what I want to do. And in every moment you see these moments that you follow your excitement build on top of each other into a climax that your soul deeply mostly craves. And when you are doing not the thing that you are excited about, you have to artificially create motivation for the thing that you are following in that moment. And you will have so much less energy to actually work towards that goal. And I believe a big reason why people get successful is because they are actually excited about what they're making. So, for example, if you start a business and you're in financial trouble and you need to work 60, 70, 80-hour weeks, in these times, it is very important that you actually get some energy from the thing that you do, because otherwise you have to find that energy surrounding your day, like when you're not working. And that's like swimming upstream.
It's going to deplete you eventually. Especially if you're doing a job where you just need to work 40 hours a week. That's most of your time goes out to something that depletes your energy. And maybe you have family, maybe you need to take care of your children. All those things can also, it can give you energy, but it can also very much deplete your energy. So there's just a very small window of time in your day-to-day where you can actually give to yourself and rebuild your life force energy within yourself to keep going and fill your own cup, fill yourself, fill your own heart. There's just a really small amount of time where we get to do that if we give all our time away to something that depletes our energy. So I think it's really, really, really important to find something that you enjoy. And if you can't find it in the normal jobs, create it. Because that's what I'm doing right now. And every time I notice that I don't get excited about the vision anymore, I just change it. And I create something that is actually more in alignment with my excitement. And I promise you, the universe will follow up. If you follow your highest excitement, everything will work out. It may take a little bit of time, but because you are already doing the things in your day-to-day that excite you, you're not waiting for it to happen, because you are already living a very, very exciting life, because you're doing it every day.
And then you just step into the frequency of, like when you do stuff that you're excited about, you step into the frequency of, I don't need anything from anybody because I have my dream life already here. And everybody want to get a piece of that, right? They see that, and then, like in a negotiation, the one who cares less, the one who doesn't need anything from anybody, has the upper hand. And so all these it just makes so much sense to me. But that's so logical because I have been following this my whole fucking life already.
Yeah.
But it all builds on top of each other. It just feels like if you are not doing it, you will get sucked into a hole. And if you do it, you have a chance of actually getting a life that you want. It's like, it's that black and white for me. It's not following your excitement is gonna be a very bad life, in my opinion. And it scares the shit out of me. Like the first time I had a big choice to make, like going for video or going for artificial intelligence, be a programmer, I was scared shitless of the work or that it would require even to just get up to speed in that job. They already send it to me like, okay, you need to read through this and blah blah, this is our business, this is what you're gonna work on. and I was like, fuck this shit. But it wasn't easy because that's what I studied for. That was the path that was laid out for me. And like not going for that job, then I needed to work 5 months delivering groceries and actually start my business that way. But that was a huge unknown, right? But I'm so happy I did it. And there are more of these like choices that in hindsight really got me on track.
Yeah, you've always followed your highest excitement. And as someone who has been next to you in your life for quite some time now, I've noticed that your excitement is infectious to people. You draw people in just because you are so excited about it. And I've noticed this now with my own experience last week when we went out to a party. I've noticed that everyone I talk to that I haven't talked to before is now asking about my business. Out of the sudden, with my breathwork thing, it didn't happen. Now it just happens constantly. And people are actually intrigued to it, and people are drawn into my energy, and I can feel it. I notice it because I'm actually excited about it. And I've seen that happen with you too, where people are just drawn into you. And that's when they give opportunities and want to work with you and keep working with you because they love your energy. And excitement doesn't have to be all like, I'm so excited. It can also be very calm and peaceful. It doesn't have to be jumping up and down, but it can be. And both will attract the right people. Both will draw people in because they see something that they want. Like, I don't know what you did, but I like it. And that draws people in.
Yeah, it tells you, it tells the people surrounding you that you don't need anything.
Yeah, and for them, like in the seductive manner, it's also he or she or they or whatever have something that I want, something that I don't. They seem to know something that I don't. And I want to know what they know because it looks like a great experience. And that's a subconscious process. People don't actually think that, of course, but It's the intrigue that comes with it when people see something within someone else that they don't see that often. A lot of people are disconnected with their excitement. A lot of people aren't living the lives that they want. So when they meet someone that are actually just all filled up with joy and excitement and it can be very calm and peaceful, but you can feel that open energy, then people notice you because it's out of the norm. It's a pattern interrupt. Even more reason why people actually will approach you, because it's a pattern interrupt. They notice you from the crowd.
Yeah.
And that's when more opportunities come your way. And that's when suddenly everything starts rolling, just if you keep following your excitement.
And it's such fucking bullshit that people say, don't make your hobby your job, because eventually it will become like work.
Then change
What?
it. Well, for some people it does. Like, I get it. For me with table tennis, I did it just for fun. And then suddenly I did it in a professional way and I lost a lot of my joy in it. And I think that's the same thing that happens with video editing, with programming, with whatever it may be that you enjoy doing as a hobby and it turns into a job. Because you feel this need to produce and you have to do it.
Yeah, but
And
then
you
you're doing
start-
it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. But you start to disconnect from your excitement again because you're starting to see it as something you have to do and you don't have a choice to not do it anymore because it doesn't excite you, because it's your job. It's the way you make money. And that's where you go wrong. You need to be flexible enough to keep shifting your idea of what your future is going to look like and how the external is looking to keep following your excitement. Because maybe you're building a YouTube channel or you have a video business like you, and suddenly you get to a point where you just don't feel excited about it anymore. But you feel this need that you need to keep doing it because this is your form of income. You need to be flexible enough to sit with yourself and think, okay, but what does excite me right now? And maybe it's traveling, maybe it's going walking in the park, maybe it's anything but working on your business. Trust that. Do that. Follow that. No matter how many people you may be let down, no matter how many people expect you to post that video or whatever it may be, just trust your highest excitement and be flexible enough to change your future ideas, your future plans, what it should look like, what you had in mind. Just let that all go and explore your excitement and be curious to what it wants to create now. Maybe your video business, creating videos, isn't your excitement anymore. Maybe it's now coaching people who want to create a video business. So be open to that.
So we came to the subject of manifestation. Because what is one of the biggest rules of manifestation is to let go of expectation of how something will happen. One part of the population thinks that manifestation is just sitting in a room and wishing and visualizing their visualizing their ideal dream future, and then somebody will just knock on the door and here you go, here you have $1 million. No, it doesn't work that way. What true manifestation is aligning yourself to the things that are meant for you. You have a certain path, you have an ideal path in your life, and your excitement is constantly trying to pull you towards that. And people say, yeah, I manifested this, but this is how you can manifest your dream life and your $1 million. But for everybody, it's different. And if you're going with the intention that I want to have $1 million because I want to be free to do whatever I want, then maybe you should focus on not getting that money out of fear that you won't be safe, and that you want to be free because you fear not being free, and maybe focus on how can you cultivate that feeling of freedom already in yourself right now. Because if you feel free, you will get the opportunities that will make you free in the external environment. So manifestation is the actual alignment and creating the emotion that will make you feel the best. And then the world catches up to you. That's what actual manifestation is.
And also, from the manifestation, the thing you actually want from the manifestation is the feeling. So if you already feel it in your day to day, in the very moment, then you're already having what you want. You're already having your dream life come true. Now it's just the world catching up to you, but you're already living it. You're already feeling everything you would feel then. And once it then comes, you're just in pride that you've manifested this, you've created this. Not surprised that it actually is on your path, because you already knew it, you were already living it. It's just like, wow, I did that.
The visualization is just a tool.
Yeah.
The visualization is just a tool to know what it will feel like when you actually have the thing that you crave. Then you notice that feeling when you're visualizing, and then let it go.
Yeah.
Because like the thing that you think about for visualizing and creating this feeling in yourself, there might be a way more efficient way to actually feel the thing that you think you would feel if you have a certain reality present around you. Maybe it's just like 2 weeks away of actually getting that feeling. And it will come via unconventional ways, not like the thing that your mind thinks that you need to do in order to get there. No, you will focus on cultivating that feeling within you, and people will notice something, and you will meet someone, and it will so naturally unfold, and then you think, holy fucking shit, this is not what I imagined, but it's even better.
Out of my experience, the universe never gives you what you expect. If you expect one thing, you're most probably are gonna get something way different and way better. So stay open for that and stay curious for that. It's exciting to see it all play out, and just like a movie. You don't want to know the ending before you've even watched it. You want to go through the journey and experience the clues and everything that happens. You want to be with it.
And surprised.
You want to be surprised by it. And look at your life the same way. Walk through it as if it's a movie, and just explore this very moment, everything that you're excited about, everything that comes on your path. Take it in and just see if it fits within your excitement, and then follow that until eventually the chapter or the story comes to an end, where there's a big climax of everything you want coming true. And then you move on to the next thing, the next part of your journey, the next chapter. But just stay open for the surprise. You don't have to know how it's going to work or how it's going to, like, all the details. That's up to the universe. Let the universe do the heavy carrying, the heavy lifting. Just stay connected with your excitement. Take the actions that are in your highest excitement, and everything will figure itself out.
I have a big thing that I'm just working through now, that I wanted to force myself to go after my dreams because I didn't trust love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for the longest time of my life, I never trusted enough in myself that I will do the things automatically by following my excitement that will eventually get me where I want to go. I did not trust that.
Didn't trust your excitement.
I didn't trust my excitement, but I did follow it. But
but you didn't trust it, and that's also something that might still be holding you back. I don't know if it is, but the fact that you think that the things you are excited about aren't gonna bring you to where you want to be. That's
I'm fucking preaching this whole thing in this podcast, like, follow your excitement, that's the fucking key. And that I'm internally not even trusting that, right? But I'm working through it more and more, and it's influencing me less and less. But
of course, we are students and teachers. Like, we are at a point where a lot of times we do follow our highest excitement in every moment, but a lot of the times we also still don't, and we still have to learn and just develop. And there are certain things that are still more exciting to us than following our highest excitement in every moment.
Actually, working through what blocks me from my highest excitement is my highest excitement. Fuck.
Yeah. But the distrust in your highest excitement, that's going to create fear. That's going to create contraction. That's going to create friction.
The reason I didn't trust my excitement fully is because I had times in my life where I had so much friction with school and with my ADHD not getting stuff done that my only way of living up to the things that other people wanted was to create stress for myself in order to motivate myself. And this pattern gave me the belief that when I would not create this stress, I would back down and fail to comply with the things that people expected of me. And this ingrained a belief in me that it's not safe to relax.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't get anything done if you won't force yourself to do it. So that is like a key thing. It's
only when you're not following your highest excitement. If you're not working towards this thing that excites you, like truly deeply in that moment, then you need to force yourself to do it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to force yourself because it's the thing you're excited about.
Yeah, like school wasn't that exciting when I was a kid. So
yeah,
that's true. Like when I get excited about something, I will do it naturally. And yeah, so that's a thing that I'm working through now, that I just have had a huge 12-hour productive day, and then I get to resting, and I know that's the best thing to do mentally, but in my subconscious brain, it's dangerous because you are relaxing now, and that means that you're not working, and you need to work because
to make your dreams come true.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm working through right now, and it's going better and better. But it's just that fear, exploring where it comes from. And
another thing I wanted to bring up was a comment you read earlier, where someone said, like, I've been trying to find my passion. I've been trying to find what excites me, and I've been doing all these things, but then I get bored with it just a few days or a few weeks later. And it just the cycle keeps happening and happening and happening. And as you were reading that to me, I immediately saw that this is a perspective thing. And I went through it as well, where I tried to find what excited me and what my passion was. And I got disappointed every time when I didn't find it. And there we go again, and I'm bored again, and we're gonna have to find something else. And instead of just enjoying the journey and enjoying getting to know myself and enjoying the journey of finding what is gonna stick, if you can look at it as part of the journey and actually get excited about finding what makes you feel alive and in passion and excitement, then you won't get disappointed when it's not the thing. It's just one step closer to finding the thing. It's one step closer, and you have more information about yourself on what it is that you want to do. And maybe all those things you've tried out, all those things that have become tools in a way, you can use them later on in the thing that you actually are going to do for a living, or where you're gonna spend the most of your time on this experience on Earth. All those things can happen for a reason, and all those things you learn along the way are also there for a reason. And if you have that perspective and you can step into that, then it won't feel like such a drag to find what it is that you are highly passionate and excited about. It can actually be part of the excitement, part of the journey of finding out what it actually is that makes you feel most alive. And it will shift along the way. So also don't get disappointed when you think you found the thing, and then you're working towards it and suddenly it shifts. That's okay too. It's just go with the flow again. Change your way. Be flexible in that, because your excitement can shift continuously. And sometimes you just need a little tiny part of that experience and move on to have the thing that you needed or have learned the lesson that you needed to actually be able to be of the highest service to the world and yourself.
See these little bursts of inspiration as I'm just picking up tools for
Yeah.
my journey. And you might not know why you need it, but it's what you're excited about right now, so try to trust that.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. You talked about needing to do something because you made a schedule for yourself and you need to do this for either school or your job or whatever, and that you sometimes get out of touch with your excitement again because you're just following this schedule. That's something that I've noticed recently where I try to make a plan for my business because I want to have my first clients coming in within 3 months. So I try to make this whole schedule for myself and all these things that I need to do. And I noticed that somewhere along the way, I started to get more disconnected with my excitement because I was just following my schedule and my to-do list instead of actually sitting with myself and exploring whether that's actually the thing that would make me most excited right now. And because I have such a clear vision and goal for myself in those 3 months, I noticed that I also have the tendency to start grabbing onto it again. Yeah, but I want this to happen, and I'm starting to hold on to it. And because of that, I start to distrust my excitement again because I have this idea, this vision, this goal that I want to achieve. And I'm not sure if my excitement will bring me to that specific goal. Maybe my excitement will bring me somewhere else. But I want this specific goal. So then I just push my excitement away and go try to force myself towards that specific goal. But that's a fine line that you need to be very aware of for yourself when you are actually following your schedule in the highest service towards yourself and what you want and your highest excitement. And when you are just starting to hold on to the thing that you want again, instead of following your highest excitement. Because for me, today and yesterday were days where I had planned a full day to work on all the things behind the scenes around building a business. But instead, I felt that I wanted to rest and that I just wanted to process for a little bit and just not do anything for a little bit. I'm also on my moon cycle, and this is just what my highest excitement tells me right now. And I can feel bad and guilty and shameful and whatever about not following my schedule and not taking the steps that are needed to create a thing that I want. Or I can trust my highest excitement and see that resting is actually the most important, most valuable thing I can do for myself right now. So be aware that you're not holding on to the thing that you want so badly, to the vision again. It can be a very fine line if you try to work towards a goal and also stay connected to your excitement. So be aware of that.
Don't get overly intense about that thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's a big one. And for me, just to close it off, we call it the trap to do. And it's basically this concept that you just talked about, but a little more in your daily schedule. When you have this schedule you set for yourself, for me, a big shift in getting more motivated, more energized about my schedule is my approach from a self-love perspective. So because of my history with ADHD and creating stress to motivate myself, I really get into the mindset very quickly that I can only be satisfied with myself when I achieve these things on my schedule. And one big thing that I'm shifting through right now is that I need to focus more on just showing up than actually complete the tasks, because I need to lower the bar of success for myself in order to get into the frequency, into the emotional state of being a winner, and not getting into the emotional state of someone who is chasing an impossible goal. Because if you are always in the frequency of someone who's chasing an impossible goal, you will become a person who is always chasing an impossible goal. So this is a big one for me right now. And I've had one thing that I wanted to go to the gym, and I switched my goal of the day of just showing up, and I ran on the treadmill, and I was suddenly not being held back by my emotions that I needed to forcefully get these 5 miles in. And I was in the frequency of a winner, and I just effortlessly ran 15 fucking kilometers. Crazy fucking shit what this can do for you. So this is just one value drop at the end.
Yeah, I have one more around this subject.
And then we'll end it.
And then we'll end it. With the trap to do, it's also very important to not think about what it is that you want to do, but more so think about how do you want to feel today, and what are the things I can do to make myself feel that way. So if you want to feel powerful, what are things you can do to make yourself feel powerful? Maybe it is taking action towards your business, but maybe it's actually doing breath work. Maybe it's going for a run. Whatever it is that makes you feel most powerful and makes you feel most excited out of all the options you have. And that can be with, I want to feel loved. Okay, how can you make yourself feel loved? Maybe take a little bit more care of yourself today. Take that nice warm bath, or go take a massage, or touch yourself and hug yourself. Find ways that you can actually make yourself feel the way that you want to feel, instead of trying to let your external determine how you're gonna feel that day. But create your external in the way that you want to feel. I don't know if I know.
Yeah, just focus on the feeling. This is just the thing. Just focus on the feeling. Focus on the actions you can do to evoke a certain feeling. And if the thing that you've planned is the actual thing you deeply want, then you will just automatically do that. If you are not automatically doing that, it means that if you are in the frequency of a winner and someone who feels great and ecstatic, and you're not doing the things that you planned, it only tells you that the things that you've planned are not aligned to your goals, and you have to rethink that. But it's just a tool to know what to do, to have the clarity when you feel amazing.
Yeah, and to actually create the day that you want, and to make yourself feel good and nourished and taken care of. It's actually a tool to help yourself stay connected with your excitement, instead of letting the world determine how you feel.
Letting your schedule
determine how you feel. So
okay,
there's a lot to do today. So I guess I want to feel productive today? No. Really choose how you want to feel and cultivate it within yourself.
So this was the 4th podcast of Love Liberation. Thank you for watching. And my name is Max.
I'm Felicia.
See you in the next video.
Bye-bye.